Also.
Okay.
And he loves TV and radio. You're gonna get along with this guy. And he's
And you're on.
No theme music. No credits. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special episode of Respect. And now, let me introduce to you Mrs. Lana Ackaway.
Good evening. It's really good for me to be here. I might be crying midway through this, but
If that's the
okay.
case, can we get that box of Kleenex? We got a box of Kleenex out there. Sorry about that, Lana.
It's okay.
Run that in here.
Okay. First of all, I want to thank Phil DeJean, the host and moderator and executive producer and all of the above, for pitching in and helping out. He was a dear friend of my husband, Russell. And secondly, I really want to thank the American Association of Psychoanalysts and Clinical Social Work. I have received about 75 condolence notes. They're my good enough family. And next, I want to thank my mentor and analyst, Madeline Burley, for her kind support. Last November, Russell was 5 years into his illness, and I needed some help, and I reached out to Madeline, and she and I have been working together now for nearly a year to help me through this difficult process. I loved my husband, Russell, like I've loved no one else in my entire life. I'd like to read to you a few items. Thanks for the Kleenex, Fiona. I think I'm going to need it shortly.
I'm here.
Russell was a licensed clinical social worker, master's level psychologist, psychotherapist, and certified psychoanalyst in private and agency practice for over 25 years. He provided counseling and therapy to adults, older persons, diverse groups of youth and young adults, ages 13 to 25, and he did play therapy with children. He completed an intensive and lengthy postgraduate education program at an approved psychoanalytic institute with specialized training, courses, workshops, etc. Russell also provided short and long-term individual and group counseling and therapy to adolescents and children to improve peer relationships, work and school performance, communication, and relationships between parents, caretakers, and their children. His practice focused on improving the academic ability of children and young people and evaluating, exploring, and reducing emotional barriers that significantly affect performance and communication. As a consultant and then director of a major New York City psychiatric clinic, Medicis, Russell created and led psychoeducational groups for children, adolescents, and adults in the areas of anger management and parenting skills training for New York City family and criminal courts, domestic violence programs, and the New York City Administration for Children's Services. He did many other things that I'm not going to go through. He was clinical director at Medicis. He led weekly clinical seminars with therapists. He also taught abnormal child, adolescent, and developmental psych at CUNY and other universities for many years. Finally, in his past life, Russell was director of staff and program development at the International Center of the Disabled. Russell was a warm, thoughtful, sensitive, young at heart, creative individual and implementer. He will be admired and respected and well-liked by many people. He talked the talk and walked the walk. He had an ease of communication and good rapport and good engagement skills for young people. Hence, when he was diagnosed with cancer in December of '05, I said to him, "Hon, you worked your butt off for the last 25 years. How about doing something that you really love?" And his love was producing 41 shows called Respect. Respect is a forum for young people and young adults with diverse issues, talking among themselves. It's a youth-driven program. For more information about Respect, log on to Russell Ackaway and look at his shows at YouTube. He really was a phenomenal person. Also going to read a few condolences that I received. Here's one from one of his past patients. Dear Lana, I was so saddened to hear of Russell's passing. I know you must be heavy with grief. He was such a spirit of kindness and love in my life, and I have carried that with me for all these years. I know that I will always have him in my heart, as will probably thousands of other people whose lives he touched. Such a warm man. Please know that my thoughts and prayers are with you at this time. I'm sure that doing the show on Tuesday will bring a sense of connection with Russell, as well as with some sadness. I will be watching. Much love to you.
And also, a lot of these shows are still being run on, his shows will still be run on the youth channel at MNN.
Great, that's a very good point. And in fact, down the road a piece, when I feel a little lighter, I'm going to contact the youth channel, and they've asked that he share a library of his tapes, so thank you for reminding me, Phil.
Right on.
This is another note from a colleague. Dear Lana, this is very sad news. We all knew Russell was ill, but his strong positive views on his condition were always reassuring, to say the least. Although I haven't been in touch with Russell, he has not been out of my mind. I remember and remember him well. I will also send a check to the NYU Melanoma Research Fund in Russell's memory. My deepest condolences. Sincerely. And here's one from his loving oncologist, who has emailed me about 15 times in the last couple of weeks since I lost my best friend. Excuse me.
Of course, of course.
Lana, always happy to help no matter what you need. Yes, I believe your world is upside down. I'm sure it feels like a bad dream that you're awaiting to wake up from. Please find comfort and strength in knowing what a good man Russell was and how many lives he touched. Talk to you soon. Love you. Anna.
Well done.
And let's see what else we have here. This is a
This is just a random sampling of.
This is a random sampling of 70 people that really cared. Here's one from one of his students at CUNY. My name is, just give the first name, Andy. I wanted to say I'm so sorry for your loss. He was such a wonderful person. I was a student of his a few years ago. I was also a few of his TV shows talking about teens. It was always a pleasure talking with him, and I remember having dinner with you after the show at a diner in the area. Great food. Both of you had great chemistry together, and I loved the laughs that night. I'd love to tell you a quick, funny story of your husband being my professor. It was during finals, and the MTA was on strike. I enjoyed psych class, but there was no way of getting to class that day because I did not drive, and I had no way of getting there except to walk. I live an hour away by train, and I live in Ridgewood. Imagine how far it is. I called your husband to ask for an extension on the exam because I had no way of getting there. He flat out told me, if you don't come, you'll receive an F for the course. I thought to myself, what the hell do I do? I walked for 4 hours and was exhausted, not to mention out of breath. As I stepped into the class an hour late, he looked at me and said, wow, you actually did it. I laughed and said, yes, Professor Ackaway, I had no choice. He allowed me to sit down and gave me an A regardless. I will never forget him. And I actually put a lot of dedication and work in his class. He was a great professor, and his shows had a lot of impact on me. I just wanted to share that with you, and also wanted to say thank you for letting me know, both of you. That really was very, very inspiring to me. I want to show a couple of photos that really are instrumental in my life. Russell and I met 27 years ago. It was at a professional function. I told him over a cup of coffee, "You have the saddest eyes I've ever seen." Well, mine is second. Anyway, 13 years later, after living in sin for 13 years, we're married, and here's our wedding picture. And here is a photo of us at my graduation from the National Psychological Association for Psychoanalysis. And here is a picture a year after we were married.
You guys look really happy. Here, just hold it up for a second so the camera can get a focus. You got that? Is it cool? Very good.
We were happy. Russell was the best thing that ever happened to me in my entire life.
Mm-hmm. Now, what's this picture you got there, Lana?
Here, this is an interesting one.
Okay.
Here is a photo of Russell with his grandchild, Luke. And this is really a very endearing shot. Unfortunately, Luke, at the a result of Russell's daughter being in and out of our lives for several years, has decided that she doesn't want us to see her child, and that's really very sad. Hence my reaching out to a lot of friends and colleagues and my listserv. Thank you for being there for me.
Mm-hmm. So let's see, what else you got there, Lana?
What else do I have here?
Oh, how about that picture?
Yeah, how about this? This is
What's
8 years before Russell and I got together.
Take a look at this one.
This is a handsome devil.
Yeah. Look at him. Well done. So serious.
Right?
Looks like Mannix or something like that, like one of those TV cop shows.
These are our babies.
Okay.
Phil's favorite is Angel Rose.
Oh yeah,
She's the
yeah.
lap cat.
Yeah, show her. So.
And she's with Sir Knight,
Uh-huh.
Russell's tiger, black and white cat.
And
And the favorite of the family is Deezy. Deezy often had lunch and dinner with us at the table with a glass of water.
It's true. I've
Phil can
actually
attest to this.
I've had dinner with you guys, and DZ has his own chair and just sits there and just like lap. Yeah, it's crazy stuff. Let's see. Any other cool stuff you want to show?
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure. Please, we got an hour show here.
Absolutely. How about these shots?
Oh, the cool promo shots.
When he was in his phase of changing his career for the 5th time.
Uh-huh.
This is when he decided, right before he organized Respect. And here's Russell with being a celebrity.
He's bringing sexy back in these pictures. You're getting a shot of this? Oh, and Vince, don't be afraid to talk, all right, here. Say hi. It's okay. We're all here.
Hi, guys.
Hi. Well done.
Cool shots. Let's see. Yeah, here's another one that's cool.
Okay. Hey, you know what we could do? We could keep showing more pictures, but maybe we should bring some guests out in between. You like that idea?
Okay, one other thing before we close on the pictures.
No, more pictures to come. More pictures to come. But
how about a couple of childhood snaps? This was one of Russell's favorite on a pony.
Russell on a pony.
Talk about harsh beginnings.
No,
Russell, save it.
No. What the heck? Go for it.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Talk about harsh beginnings.
Talk about his youth. Where was he born?
Okay, Russell was born in Jersey City, New Jersey, and he, at the age of 4, he's a little younger here. He's with his dad. Unfortunately, at the age of 4, his father passed away. And the family decided not to tell Russell. So they made up a story that Dad was on a long business trip. Well, as a result of that, Russell, many years later, became an analyst.
Trying to figure out why the family told him that.
Exactly.
You can show other pictures in the intro.
And here's Russell with his mom. I was a lot like Mom and Grandma. Grandma raised him while Mom went out to work.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else
Now,
we got
around-
here. Here's a cute one.
Now, what year was this? Around
He
the
was
time?
born in 1940, so I'm showing some pictures
So-
from 1940 to 1944.
So this is right around the time, right before World War II, right around World War II times.
Yeah, actually, I can remember as a kid being in bomb shelters where I grew up in the Bronx, and going down several flights of stairs to get into a bomb shelter. So I was born in 42, so it's about 46. So, right, this is just at the brink of...
The days of duck and cover.
Right, duck and cover is absolutely right. He had another horrible incident at the age of 8. He was left for dead.
What? How?
Yeah, he had a ruptured appendix. He was hospitalized. He was given up by a lot of doctors. He was in a coma for 2.5 weeks.
Wow.
And his mother stopped visiting him.
How old was he?
8 years old. So you can imagine when he woke up and he found nobody there. It's about the third reason he became an analyst, to bridge the gap and help other people with their loneliness, abandonment, and betrayals.
Wow.
Anyway, it was rough going for Russell. That's why I'm really very happy to have been by his side for all the 27 years. Even through his illness, I never left his side. And I want to read one other testimonial that...
Read as many as you want,
I don't
Lana.
want to read the whole thing, but I do want to read a piece of it, because this is what started me sobbing after my own shock of 10 days
Okay,
of
well, in any
losing
case,
him.
I'm setting this thing up. Right.
This is from a physician that took responsibility. He was Russell's pulmonologist. It is with sincere regret that I write this letter of condolence to you on the loss of your husband, Russell. I have rarely seen such devotion, tenderness, and caring to a husband that you have demonstrated. No effort and nor thought was spared by you in caring for him throughout every aspect of his illness. The number of hours that you stayed by his side are testimony enough to your love and respect for him. We will all miss Russell, but of course none of us will miss him as much as you. I can only express my deepest sympathy to you at this time of loss. I would wish that your remembrance of Russell be those of past happiness. Needless to say, I remain available to you in any way that I can.
Very
That
nice.
really is very symbolic. I mean, I know I was there, but in times of grief, sometimes the grieving process makes you forget that you didn't do enough. And receiving this letter of condolence was very important to me.
Right on, right on. And you're doing okay now? I mean, I'm sure this is such a shock to go through this.
I'm struggling, but putting one foot in front of another, and I'm lucky to have a lot of people in my professional circles and people like you that are close friends. They may be only 2 or 3. My best friend's in Florida. I think she's watching tonight.
Right on.
And I plan to go down there for the holidays, but my professional connections, 1 or 2 good close friends like Phil and Lila, and also the support of my work, which is really very important to me. I'm also an analyst, and I will find some way to help my beloved deceased husband who's watching from someplace upstairs.
Well, I'm sure they have M&N over there. Anybody bet.
I would hope that I could in some way, even though my practice has been ages 20s to 40s, I've worked with some teens, and my goal is to dabble and see if I can find some kind of a home for the Respect Show. That would be wonderful, wouldn't it?
Right on, definitely. And this stuff is definitely all up online, so Russell will live on forever. You know what I mean? In fact, in my personal experiences, I remember working on the Respect show and just really, just falling in love with Russell because he's just such a funny and he's such a caring person. And even when I was at my worst, when I was at my absolute worst, like, I was in failing health. I was just a miserable person. And Russell would always, take me under the wing. And I remember, right when I was at I would dare say, the bottomest of bottoms. And Russell sat with me. He, said for me to come out, and he sat with me and took me out to a restaurant. And he was just so kind to me. And it started, my whole changing of my whole lifestyle, and I'm a healthier guy now.
Oh wow, you've changed and bloomed and grown.
And you know what? Even going through all the things that he was going through, all the hardships and the hospital stuff, and visiting him in the hospital, I remember the last time I spoke to him on the phone, I'd called you guys, and Russell had just come home, and I asked him how he was doing. He said that he doesn't know. He feels like he might die. And he was able to then turn the conversation and say, but how are you doing? And I'm like, Russell, you just told me this, And he's just like, no, what are you doing? Are you doing this and doing that?
He always had room for those people he loved, you, me, a couple of others. Mm-hmm. And he always had room in his heart for other people. Mm-hmm. That's why I think the tragedy of his estranged adult children, one is 44 and one is 37, I really think that it's awful that they've been missing, one for 6 years and another one for a year. It's really very tragic at this time.
Well, these things will be on DVD, so I guess they'll be able to check it out. But hopefully they want to learn, they want to reconnect and talk and things like that. Because you know what? That's what
I doubt that very much.
Well, you know what? Time is the healer. But let's bring on some
Good.
guests. So we could have the. Can we have one of our speakers come out and say a little something about Russell? Vince, can we swing that out? Who do you got?
Yeah.
Yeah, send somebody out and we'll see who it is. So it's going to be mystery guest. Bring out a mystery guest. I'm very curious. Who wants to say a little something? I was thinking that we should take some calls, but I would think I'd be afraid of any Howard Stern calls coming through.
Yeah, I was thinking about that yesterday, absolutely. But I don't think people, Phil, are really afraid of death.
Yeah.
They're really frightened by it, and a lot of people probably didn't know what to expect when I announced that I'm doing a show like this.
Yeah.
And I know Russell's watching from wherever he is.
Definitely.
I know he's definitely watching.
Definitely. Let's see.
Anybody out
yeah,
there?
We have a whole bunch of panelists.
We're getting a call for you.
Oh, we're getting a call? Okay, send the call in. Calls? We're getting calls too? Wow.
Who's calling?
Let's see. I hope
1 moment.
I hope they're going to be respectful. Don't be nervous. You know what? Russell always took those Howard Stern calls in such stride.
Yeah,
he always had to laugh about it. And you know what? I think they might have even contacted him once to talk to him
He
personally.
always looked up at the sky when a call came
when a call came through. And
Say
hello?
Hello.
Hey, who's this?
This is Richard, Russell's first cousin.
Oh my God! Hey,
wow.
Richard, thank you for calling in.
He's calling in from Georgia.
Yes.
Wow.
Hello, Lana.
Hi, Richard.
Hi, Phil.
I'm glad
Hey.
you broke the ice and made a phone call. That's really very kind of you, Richard. And thank you.
Oh,
for
no, I
your
wouldn't
note.
miss it. I would not miss this for anything, Lana. I know you and Russell are better lower this here so I can talk.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, that's official. They would have told you in the room, turn down your television set.
Yeah. And I know you and Russell had a very strong affection, synergies, and love between both of you. I mean,
You guys.
there's no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
And our prayers and thoughts are with you. And Lana, there's just no better way to honor Russell's memory than a tribute to Russell Ackaway on the Respect TV show.
Oh, I love you, Richard.
sure,
Thank
for
you
sure.
so much.
That's
You
a
can't
job
imagine
well
how this
done.
means to me.
Now, Richard, do you have a story about your cousin or anything like
Yeah,
that? You could tell, like, something
please.
that Lana wouldn't know from, like, your youth or something like that?
Excuse me?
Do you have any stories about Russell from his youth or something that you share with us?
Oh, yeah.
Go for it.
Russell and I grew up in the same apartment building. He's older. He's 2 years older than me, a year and a half basically older than me. We went to the same elementary school. We went to the same high school.
Wow. What high school did you go to?
We went to Emerson High School in Union City, New Jersey.
Very nice.
We palled around together during elementary, high school. We were really as close as brothers growing up because we were in the same apartment building. You know, we always, played together Christmas. He always had better toys than me, so I like going over his house at Christmas because he got some real neat toys.
I see.
And
I miss your
even in high
laugh,
school,
Richard. I really miss your laugh.
we dated together. We double dated together in high school, and it was we had some good times. We had some crazy times. We worked in Palisades Amusement Park together.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, we had some great times there in New Jersey.
Hold on. What did you guys do at the Palisades?
Well, we either cooked French fries, waffles, or made roast beef sandwiches.
Oh, nice. Oh,
and respect meant, it just meant so much to Russell. We discussed this often on our phone conversations. And when you think about it, Russell was a pioneer in a true reality show discussing youth's challenges in an open forum.
True.
It's not only a United States issue. This is a world issue. And this type of show should be on mainstream media. And I hope it gets there sometime. And we'll remember that Russell was the pioneer, and I hope this show or a similar format will make it on MNN or possibly on a mainstream media at some point.
Wow,
Yeah, I'm going to see what I can do to carry the Respect name. I invite people. You have my email. It'll be flashing at the end of the broadcast. Lana Ackaway at CS, that's CompuServe.com.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah, and the youth of today, still, they need something like this. They're maturing at an earlier age as a result of technology, which is good. And Russell had faith in our youth. He really had the faith in our youth.
He certainly did.
We have different times now with our youth, and they're experiencing some difficulties with the economy, the war, personal problems. You can go on and on.
Sure.
However, we discuss this often, and we felt this generation of youth will be the strongest ever. They may not think so today, but they're going to change America for the better.
You know what? I think that's true, and we have actually one of the former panelists from the Respect show. So let's give it up for Toby Fella.
Yay!
Stand on right over there. Yeah, right over there. Yeah, you could slope that down. Yeah, there you go.
That's good.
All right, right there. How you doing, fella?
I'm doing great.
Yeah. Now, just tell us a little about yourself.
About myself, my name is Toby Fella Ali. Some people call me Toby, some people call me Fella. I'm brand manager for a company by the name of The Fam Inc. I'm from Washington, D.C., 24 years old, just turned 24 about a month ago. And I was a guest on the Respect show about a year ago. Met Russell through an email. Basically, he was looking for panelists